TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Kings and queens, we are so excited on today. We have a lot of topics to talk about, but listen, we thank you for tuning in. I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to comment, and you can also call in today if you have a comment or something that you want to say as it relates to the topics that we are discussing today. I'm your host, Kat Davis, and I have all the other hosts, my Diva sisters with me on today.
LaTanya, hello everybody.
Hey, it's Kay the Motivator. How you guys doing?
Yes, yes, yes. And I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yes, Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Also, we want to say happy birthday to our other talk show diva sister. Venus had a birthday on yesterday. Venus, Mahogany had a birthday on yesterday. Venus has a birthday today.
Happy birthday, Diva.
Happy birthday. And hi, Toy. Hope everybody is doing good. We are streaming live right here in Douglasville, Georgia, every single Sunday at 4:30 p.m. I need y'all to tell everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody, okay, that we are streaming live every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. in Douglasville, Georgia, where our executive producer is Felix Washington. Yes, he is so awesome. And then we have our social media manager, who is Shantae Barksdale, and we're so appreciative of them because they help us make this show happen. And viewers, you also make the show happen. So if you ever want to donate, because we had some donations last week and we appreciate our viewers for that, you can donate. You like the show, you want to see it keep going, you can send a Cash App donation to the $, of course, TV 1061. Again, if you Cash App, it's $, TV 1061. If you want to run a banner ad, you want to advertise your business, if you want to advertise or market your ministry or whatever organization that you have, if you're an artist and you want to advertise, you can do it right here. We have shows all week, over 8 shows, up to almost 10,000 viewers a week. So if you would like to market your business, organization, ministry, whatever it may be, email us at 1061tv@gmail.com. Again, that's 1061tv@gmail.com, and we will take care of you. We will get back with you. We also want to give a shout out to our virtual talk show diva, Miss Gwen. Yes,
Congratulations, Gwen.
Yes, Miss Diva. She was commenting on last week, y'all.
Very good.
Participating. And you know what? We here at Talk Show Divas, we love our viewers.
Yes, indeed.
So we give y'all gifts once a month. And because she did a lot of participation, we sent her a $25 gift from 1061 production of the Talk Show Divas. So Gwen, thank you. We hope you're on today, and happy Mother's Day to you as well, Miss Diva. We also have a number that you can call in if you have questions or you want to make a statement. That number will be on the screen, 404-519-0015. Well, ladies,
Yes.
let's get into what we came here to do today.
All right.
So, because it's Mother's Day, we're going to start off talking about mothers during the pandemic time. How can you honor your mother during a pandemic time? But not only are we going to talk about that, another topic we're going to talk about is the young man who was 5 years old. Not young man, well, young boy.
Boy.
I said young man because he got me all confused. He was driving at 5 years old on the highway. So we're going to talk about that. He was trying to go buy a Lamborghini for $3, y'all. That is going to be a discussion we're going to talk about. But we're also going to talk about the teenagers here in Georgia. Over 20,000 teenagers received their driver's license without having to take a road test. Now, I don't know if y'all think that's dangerous or not, but we're going to dive into that too. And last but not least, we're going to talk about something that has really enraged a lot of people. It has really hurt us as individuals to see this video go viral of Ahmaud, who was gunned down like he was an animal. And it is sad that our black men, it just made it more clear to us that our black men are still being stereotyped and they're not safe. And it's really a hard pill to swallow after seeing what we've seen. So, ladies, let's talk about Mother's Day. Mother's Day. I'm going to let you go first, Tanya. I know you got something to say about this whole Mother's Day situation here.
Well, of course. Well, first and foremost, of course, again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We all know that being a mom has got to be one of the toughest jobs that we'll probably ever do. I know for me it is by far the toughest job because we know that we are creating the adults and the adults of the future. So we know that what we do as parents has such a significant, what we do as mothers has such a significant part in how the world evolves in the future. So it's a huge responsibility that I take very seriously. I think that a lot of us do. I think that on a day like this, it's really good to be able to hear from your children and from others around you that they are rooting for you as a mom, that they're proud of you, that they're happy for you, they're excited for you to just have a day to celebrate motherhood. And I know that in this current climate, most of us as moms, I'm going to take a chance and say that most of us want to spend our day with our children. And some of us, unfortunately, me included, we have children that are not near us, that can't be with us on this special day. some of that for travel reasons, economic reasons, and things like that, but also because of this current climate. I know for me, I don't want to put my adult son and his children and his family at risk by asking them to come and visit me, nor do I want to do that by traveling to go and visit them. I don't want to go to the airport. I don't want to get exposed to anything and then take it and expose it to my grandchildren.
Right.
So it makes it a little bit difficult that you can't, if you've got that kind of commitment where on Mother's Day you would go and spend time with your mom, maybe you can't do that this time. But it's also fortunate that we live in the present time where we have things like Skype and
Yes.
and all these kinds
And
of things that
Zoom.
we can do, right? So that was first thing this morning. I had a Skype call from my son and my grandkids, so that set the tone for my whole day. So I know it's difficult to be a mom. It's also probably the most rewarding thing you'll ever do.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be a mom. I'm grateful that that God allowed me the privilege, because I have wonderful children and it's just been a wonderful experience. But as we're going to talk about later, it's also a very painful sometimes experience, and it can also be a very difficult one as well.
Yes, absolutely. What about you, Kay? How has your Mother's Day been today, and what can you tell everyone, our viewers, about Mother's Day?
Well, today is kind of hard for me. This is Mother's Day. My mom has been deceased since 2012, December. So Mother's Day is a complicated holiday for me. I still enjoy it thoroughly because of my sons and other family members. And this is also my siblings and my father. First Mother's Day without my grandmother, and it's a bit complicated for us right now. But I do want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to the bonus moms. And what you can do for your mom on today is love her on every day. Not just today. Every day should be Mother's Day, because when she's gone, you don't have another Mother's Day to say, oh, I wish I could have done this for mom. Make every day Mother's Day for her. Yeah, we do things and upset our parents, but, we can get there and, just do the right thing. Just love on your mom while she's here. And I mean, you can do the Zoom, just like Tanya said. You can do, what they have?
Now they have
FaceTime.
You did Skype, right?
It's Duo, same thing.
Okay, so Duo, then they have the Facebook video where you can go through Facebook.
Okay.
And you can video through Facebook. That's free. You don't have to download anything if you already have the Facebook up there. And I want to say hi to our viewer, our sister, Angel Grady Michael. Thank you. She said Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Thank
and
you.
that we all
Thank
look
you.
beautiful.
Thank
you so much. Thank you. Well, my Mother's Day was interesting. It started off a little shaky, but my son, who's from college, he cooked me breakfast this morning. He was
that's
already there
sweet.
because of the pandemic. Yeah. And then my daughters and my grandson came over and cooked me dinner. And of course, my grandson was running all over the place, acting like he was running things. But I was just happy that they were there. My other son, he's in North Carolina, and he called me early, 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm just grateful for my children. Me, myself, I didn't have the opportunity to grow up with a mother. My mother was murdered when I was younger, but I've had other women throughout my life as I was growing up who were very intricate, who played a major part in my life in different ways, and all of them were different. And I went to Alabama yesterday. I was riding, y'all, but I took a Mother's Day gift to Mama Gloria, because she has been so awesome for me, and she's everything. She was my prior mother-in-law, and she's just still been a mom, and I appreciate her. That's very, very special. As well as I've had other ladies that have been in my life who have been an encourager to me. So I appreciate all of them. And there's some of you out here that have just recently lost your mom. And so we light a candle for them, for you. And I know this may be difficult. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how long your mom have been deceased, because it's not something that just go away.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
You know, you were a part of her. She was a part of you. You have memories together. And so, but let those good memories live on.
Yes.
You know, and there are things that we can do to continue to honor, you know, our mothers that have passed on, or people that were like a mother, because some people like me just had people in their life that was like, you know, a mother. Mm-hmm. And so, there are different things you can do to honor them. Like you said, they may not be able to be with them in the physical, but you can give them a call. They have online shipping where you can go online and you can buy gifts and have it shipped to your mom.
Or you can use Cash App or Zelle and just send her a nice little token of love.
Yes. Cash App and Zelle are what's happening. You hear me? I love me some Cash App and Zelle now. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Send me the money. You ain't even got to get no gift. So I'm just making sure. I wanted to give some shout outs to some of the viewers. I know y'all have some people watching.
I don't have anyone checked in.
Did y'all check to see?
Let's see.
Hey y'all, so listen. Again, if you want to say anything, if you want to call, you can call 404-519-0015 if you want to call in. I hope you all are having a wonderful Mother's Day. Make the best out of it. You know, some of you are going through a lot of hard times with your children, and, you know, and it could be something petty that you had an argument about, you know, because it's like, to be honest, we as mothers, our children expect so much from us. Mm-hmm. And they expect us to say yes. They want us to be the yes mother all the time. And so sometimes when we say no, they get upset, not realizing that we're saying no because we're either trying to protect them, or we're either trying to keep them from doing something that they may regret later, you know, in their life. It could be a long-term situation. And no sometimes mean I love you just that much that I need to say no, because I'm trying to teach you some type of responsibility, right? But on the flip side of that, y'all know we got some children that feel like they ain't got to give us 100% like they want from us. And that's not how it always goes. So I challenge all the mothers and the children to try to give each other 100% in every area. 100%. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, I mean, you know, again, we're talking about adults versus children. So what it looks like for a child to give 100% is going to look completely different for what it looks like for a mom to give 100%. With my younger kids, 100% is do your schoolwork. I don't want my phone to ring. I don't want to hear from your teacher. I don't want to hear from your principal. I want you to be getting good grades. You know, that's my 100% for you. So it's different. It's a different level. With my adult son, now he's about to be married. He has children. He's got a great job. So my 100% for him is just to do right by what he has in front of him. You know, to do the best that he can with everything that he has.
Right.
You know, you raise your children hopefully to be good people, to be, you know, productive, to be helpful, supportive, in my case, men. And so you want the best from your kids, but you want the best for your kids.
Absolutely.
Is what it really is about. So I just, you know, I hope that when I say to my kids, I want you to give me 100%, it's not about any type of material thing, or it's not about, you know, I'm the parent, so it's not your job to be, I'm not supposed to be your priority, you're supposed to be my priority. But I want you to give me the best that you can give me at that particular point in your life based on what you're able to.
Right.
And I know my younger kids, they're able to get good grades. They're able to be good people. They're able to be good students,
Absolutely.
be respectful. So I expect them to do that 100% of the time.
Right. So it's all about what your expectations are as it relates to their age range.
Yeah, that it's reasonable.
That's reasonable. Well, y'all, we have to go. That was our segment on Mother's Day. When we come back, we're going to talk about those 20,000 children that got their driver's license without a road test. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Hi, I'm Michael Kyle, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later.
Hey, yes, we are back, Talk Show Divas. Listen, we are going to dive right into our next topic, but right before we do that, we want to say hi. We seen Sylvia Bond. I wanted to say hi, Sylvia. Thank you for tuning in and watching us on today. I see some more people, but I can't see all your names. But again, we appreciate y'all for watching. We need you to share. We need you to comment and call in. And, you know, we want to hear what you have to say as viewers. What you say is important, too. And if you want to hear particular topics, you can send it to an email. Our email, again, is 1061tv@gmail.com or talkshowdivas1@gmail.com. Y'all, let's just go right into this. Okay? So it was nearly 20,000 teens in Georgia that received their driver's license without a road test. How dangerous could this be? For decades, it has been a rite of passage for the American teenager to obtain their driver's license by taking the road test. A test that had at one point had us all excited yet nervous at the same time. I know I was. Because I wanted that license, but I was nervous too. I didn't know if I was going to pass, if I'm going to turn around, my hands sweaty, all kinds of stuff going on. And normally, before you get your driver's license, you have to have your learner's permit for 1 year and a day, no violations, and complete at least 40 hours of supervised driving by your parents. Well, now, y'all, if the parents sign for it, they're actually just giving them a driver's license. It's been over 20,000, and this is because of the pandemic. So, what do you think about that, Kay?
Well, my thoughts on that is, I think it's dangerous today because, I mean, teenagers, they have their phones, they're on the social media while they're driving, they're texting, they're videoing themselves while they're in the cars. I mean, true, they have adults that do it too, but I mean, no one should be doing it. Not just kids shouldn't be doing it. No one should be doing it. But I think that they should have to go through the road test part, because when I think from my understanding, when they go through the road testing, they're not just getting in the car with the instructor just driving. I mean, the instructor is talking to them, asking them questions,
right,
dictating what should be going on while driving and not, you know. So it's, you just got to keep your eyes open, and just be alert, and just hope that the parents are instructing the kids on not driving and texting and video chatting while they're, you know, driving, having the steering wheel in one hand and trying to drive with the knee, or have the cell phone trying to do this, that, and the other. And that the kids themselves, that they really understand how quickly you can look down or just press that send button.
It don't take but a second.
Or just open up that text message and bam, your life is gone. I mean, I saw on Facebook the other day where there was a young lady, she said, not once, not twice, but 3 times in the same day while driving, God saved her from losing her life because she looked down at her cell phone.
3 times.
Wow. Wow. What do you guys say about it, Tanya?
Well, okay, so I'm going to be honest. At first, I thought it was just the driving test. I was, okay, well, they still have to practice for a year. You know, they still had to have their permit for a year. They still had to have a certified instruction. They still had to have a parent in the vehicle with them, you know, for that time. So at first I thought, you know, how bad can it be? I mean, you may not be able to parallel park, but, you know, I still can't parallel park well. So, so at first I really honestly didn't think too much of it. It wasn't until I dove into it a little bit more and really just started thinking about it, and it kind of just hit me, just really, what is the rush? Like, what's the difference? What difference would it have made to say we're just going to postpone this until after after the pandemic is, you know, resolved itself enough that we can do the testing? I didn't understand the necessity to move this along.
Right.
It wasn't essential for these kids to have these provisional licenses, from what I could tell. I haven't been able to see anything that tells me anything any different.
Right.
The other reason is because if you look into what we do know that according to the CDC, and again, these numbers are from 2017, but car accidents is the #1 killer of teens, and between 16 to 19, and I think they found at one point it was an average of around 6 a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a very high risk population to be out there on the road.
Right.
And so when you look at that, and then I actually looked at what the CDC said were the contributing factors, it was things like inexperience, having teen passengers in the car with them, driving at night, not using seat belts, distracted driving, which we were just talking about, like texting, drowsy driving, reckless driving, and impaired driving. Now again, none of those seem like they're really relative to whether or not you can do a 3-point turn. But when you look even further into it, you know, the National Highway Safety Commission, the administration actually did a study on that. And they found that even if you don't give, even in circumstances where the factors may not seem to be contributing, they are.
Yeah.
And that really jumped out to me because they were saying, again, like depending on, like in a state where you have testing, for those students or whatever, those teens that don't pass the test, well, what does it do? It gives them they have to go back and revisit something. They have to learn something else. They have to explore something. They have to research a little bit deeper. So there's something else that they have to do. Well, in that time, that experience, that knowledge, that additional time is preparing them to be better drivers, and that reduces the risk. So at the end of the day, do I think that it's a problem? I do. I think that it's such a population that's already at high risk. There's not any valid reason to go out and put them at any more risk.
Right.
And we already have a high, what do you call it, car accident rate here in Georgia anyway. I mean, I'm not for it at all. I mean, you talking to a person right now that was in a car accident. No, I wasn't in a car accident and hit by a child or a teenager, but I was in a car accident last year and just now fully able to start walking again fully this January.
Yeah.
I mean, so you talking from July to January with me not being able to walk. So I'm cautious and paranoid just for me to drive, and I don't like driving right now.
And see, the thing of the matter is, Georgia is holding the parents responsible for making sure that the children are good drivers. And I think that their expectation of some parents is higher than what it should be. Because the truth of the matter, if we want to be real about it, you know, we can't just assume that all parents are responsible. There are some parents that are not responsible, that are reckless drivers themselves, or maybe have had DUIs or different things like that, or it may not even be that. It may be that they work all the time, you know, and so they don't have the opportunity or the time to really take time and drive them out to make sure that they take all the safety precautions that they need to take. So then if the child, which we're going to talk about another child in our next segment, like the 5-year-old that took it upon himself with no driver's license to drive out, what do you think that the 16-year-old is going to do now that they have a provisional driver's license, which says that they can drive without their parent? They can easily take the car. You know, if the parents leave the keys at home, or listen, these days, young people are so smart, they'll go get keys made, okay? You can take some keys and go get it made at Lowe's or Home Depot and have a whole set of keys while their parents thinking, you know, they have extra cars, and so they thinking that their car is safe, not knowing that this child done took the car for a spin, or if they going out of town, you know. So some things we have no control over, and then there are some things that we do have control over. So who is to say that these young people are going to have the experience that they need? Because even if they had a permit, that doesn't mean that they really drove all of those hours that they're supposed to drive. They might you can have a permit for a year and your parent never take you out to drive those 40 hours that you are required to drive, and they'll still sign for them to do it, to get their license. So these days it's almost as if you gotta look out for yourself just as well as the other driver. I mean, it's horrible. These accidents are horrible. I've been in a lot of accidents, and I think out of all the accidents, I hit a driver once, and that was because it was some young people, and they just stopped in the middle of the road, and so I hit them. I didn't even hit them hard. There was no scratches, but of course everybody in the car was hurt. They were getting that piece of money, but it's okay. The good thing, you got to have insurance, so make sure you have the right insurance. If you're going to allow your young people sign for them to get their license, one of the things that is very important is to make sure you have insurance on those vehicles, and those children are also on the policy as well.
Absolutely.
It is very important. So I don't know what you viewers think. We got some people that's saying a few things. Let me see who's talking. Hey, Derek, that's the cake man. I know you done made a lot of cakes for Mother's Day today. He said, just tuned in, but if this is about no road test, they need to reinstate it because most of the drivers have no sense of the road. Plus, they need to know how to properly park their car. That is so true, Derek. Deborah Boyce Larrier said, to all it applies to. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Deborah.
Happy Mother's Day to you as well, Deborah.
We appreciate you. And Derek, you are so right. They do need to reinstate it. They need to do something about this, because I don't agree either with them just giving it to them.
Well, I can tell you, if you're going to have your child driving and you're okay as a parent to not have them take the road test, and if you're not going to make sure that they're capable of driving safely, you need to put them on your insurance. Make sure you list them as a driver on your insurance, and make sure you have the coverage higher than $25,000, which is the bare minimum that's required by the state.
So y'all, there you have it. That was our discussion on that. We don't agree. So I hope somebody do something about it. But listen, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. We want to talk about that 5-year-old that was trying to go buy that Lamborghini. He was on the highway. We'll be right back, y'all. Talk Show Divas. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time.
We are back, Talk Show Divas, always streaming live every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. in Douglasville, Georgia, where our executive producer is Felix Washington and our social media manager is Shantae Barksdale. So listen, I just want to say this before we dive into this topic. You viewers are the reason why we continue to have our show. So if you would please help us to keep our show going on, as it is very expensive with all these cameras, lights, and everything that we have to deal with and do, and people that's working to keep this going. So we're just asking you to please give donations and Cash App it to TV 1061. Again, you can Cash App it to TV 1061. We appreciate you so much. We really need your help to keep this show going on. And I know y'all love to watch us, and we love to have you watch because we love interacting with you. And we love giving gifts to our viewers too, right?
Yes,
y'all?
we do.
Especially when you participate. So we want to say to Sylvia, thank you for participating. We see that you stated that you agree with Derek because if they not on the phone, they have their music so loud, and that is so true. That is absolutely true. we wanted to say this. We do miss our other diva sister, Sasha. I forgot to mention her earlier. So we missed her. She's out today. She got a surprise from her children for Mother's Day, so she's out on a trip. Enjoy
Happy
your
Mother's
trip,
Day,
Sasha.
Happy Mother's Day. That
And
sounds
again,
great.
a happy birthday again to Mahogany and Venus, who just celebrated. And happy Mother's Day to them too, because they're all mothers as well. And I wanted to say this because I know some of you remember the legend, Little Richie.
Yeah.
He passed away. Y'all remember that song, Tutti Frutti?
Of course.
That was one of his major songs. And then of course the music producer, Andre, passed away as well. So our condolences are given for both of them. Now, we have to dive into this topic, y'all, because I still can't believe that
somebody commented on it. Somebody's already commented on it while we was on break.
They did?
Yes, on the 5-year-old boy.
Okay, who commented? What they say?
So Kenneth Lotz said the 5-year-old kid's parents should be arrested for the child endangerment and neglect. Some people thought that it was cute. I thought it was totally irresponsible. Where were the parents?
That was who?
Kenneth Lott.
Kenneth Lott. Thank you, Kenneth, for that. Exactly. And listen, this 5-year-old, let's tell a little bit about what happened. So the parents were going to get charged, but then after they started call themselves investigating, they decided that it wasn't enough evidence to say that they showed any type of neglect because both parents were at work. Okay? Both parents were at work. Their 16-year-old daughter was watching their 5-year-old son. Now, the mother and the 5-year-old son had an argument before this incident about him being mesmerized with Lamborghinis. So that he goes on social media, 5 years old. He goes on social media, and all he does is look at Lamborghinis. Well, he wanted a Lamborghini, so he asked his mama, like we were talking about earlier, how they expect so much out of us. He asked his mother to buy him a Lamborghini. Okay? I don't know if he really understands how much a Lamborghini costs.
Well, clearly not if he was heading there with $3.
Okay. How much was he had? How much?
$3.
$3, y'all. $3 to buy a Lamborghini? Well, anyway, he snuck out the house some kind of way. I don't know how his 16-year-old sister didn't even realize he wasn't in the house, and then cranked the car, left, and drove 3 miles. They said he drove at least 3 miles. A 5-year-old drove at least 3 miles.
Swerving.
Yes.
Doing 35 miles per hour in a 70 mile per hour zone.
Yes. But he had enough sense to pull over when the blue lights came on him. Okay? He pulled over on the side of the road just like a grown person would pull over.
Yes.
I was outdone. And then on top of that, when the police officer said he was in such shock that he could not believe that this 5-year-old was driving. And he had the dash camera on, so if you go on YouTube and pull up the video, you'll see a video of him driving and the lights going on, him being pulled over, and then he asks him, "Where is he? What are you doing? How old are you?" He said, "I'm 5 years old." He said, "Where you going?" "I'm going to California." He lived in Utah, so he was driving and he was going in the right direction. This how smart this 5-year-old. Yo. I don't believe this. I do not believe this 5-year-old was smart enough to do all of that. My thing is, they never answered the question, how did he know how to drive like that, number one? Now, the parents put him on punishment from what I was reading. They grounded him for it. But now they're making it something where the 5-year-old is getting praised for this. Now, that's the part I don't understand. You know, okay, I understand that they, felt sorry for him a little bit. But he still need to understand the seriousness of what he tried to do.
To be held accountable.
To be held accountable for his actions, as well as the parents. I mean, yeah, they were at work, and they can't help. If they both got to work, there's nothing they can do about it. They had their 16-year-old there, but you left your keys there. Why? did you leave your keys? Did you leave your keys there for the 16-year-old to drive? I mean, this is kind of like, it could go both ways. So
hold on, sis. This goes back to the Georgia law that is in effect right now.
Okay.
Where it is okay for the children to get licensed without having a road test. If it's not okay for them to drive reckless and have to pay attention, and the parents here in Georgia are having to be held accountable for their children irresponsible actions, that parent should be held accountable for what the child done. I mean, when you first heard about it, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to even say forgive me, because I don't really mean forgive me. I mean, I was in an accident and I was almost tore up. That's what I need y'all to understand. So
yeah, because he could have really hurt
he
somebody.
He could have hurt himself or hurt someone. And how about if he wouldn't have had common sense to pull over when he saw the lights?
Yeah.
And it would have called other officers to the road. They would have started shooting. You know, suppose all of these things. Mm-hmm. So I don't see where it's a cute thing that took place.
And you know how the media is. I mean, the media can be good, and then sometimes it can be bad in its own right. But they had one man to come that found out about it and decided he wanted to give him a ride in the Lamborghini. Mm-hmm. And then you see that they weren't even doing that right. They had the little girl, I guess it was a 16-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. So she's sitting in the front seat with him sitting in her lap. They're driving. Like, that's being irresponsible right there. And they think it's cute, but it's not cute. On top of that, then they saying they want to fly him in to California. A dealership wants to fly him into California to allow him to drive the car on the dealership lot. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that, because when you have a teenager that allegedly steals a car, you're not praising that person for the cars that they're stealing, allegedly being said stolen. I mean, you just, I mean, if they don't make it where this kid can understand that what he's done is not right, he's going to go do it again. Mm-hmm. And then what's going to happen if something happens to him the next time he does it? Mm-hmm. Who are you going to blame?
And you know, when you're talking about kids at such a young age, it's really hard. It's going to be really difficult for the parents and the public to drive home to him how serious what he did really is. So it's not helpful to do the other things that kind of reward him.
That's right.
For this kind of behavior. I think it's awesome that, you know, the dealership, oh, well, okay, we want to, you know, he wants a Lamborghini so bad, we want to, you know, give him the experience of one. But at the same time, I think as a parent trying to teach a child, if I was trying to teach my child, this is not a good idea, this is not something I want you to do, this is harmful to you, this could have been harmful to other people, I don't think that I could have supported that. Mm-hmm. And you're right, I did look at the pictures of that, and it was even worse, because I think he was in his sister's lap at one point, and then I think maybe somebody else's lap at another point. So it just got way, way, way out of control. I don't necessarily think that the parents should have been charged with child neglect or anything. I think that, you know, they left the child home with his 16-year-old sibling. Granted, in this day and age, we just talked, like you said, we just talked about distractions and, you know, all these kind of things. So granted that is a possibility, I'm going to give the parents the benefit of the doubt that they felt like their 16-year-old was capable of doing that. And as far as why the keys were there, the parents could have had an extra set of keys at home. I leave my extra set of keys at home. So that was just a matter of him finding the extra set of keys.
But don't you think that the 16-year-old should be held responsible for a little bit as well?
Definitely, but again, that's a parenting issue to me.
Exactly,
you know,
that's not lawfully, but I'm saying with
that's
the parents.
That's a conversation that needs to happen with that child to say, how did you miss this? Were you on social media? Were you not? You know, that's a conversation that needs to happen there.
Absolutely.
But we do need to be honest, though, and acknowledge that had something happened, these parents would have been held accountable.
Yeah.
Had that child, you know, injured somebody else, done some sort of property damage, ran into somebody, whatever, those parents would have been held responsible for it. And so I think it's important to not overshadow what happened, is, like you said, not to make it about something being cute or fun or innocent or sweet, when it definitely could have had far, far more negative consequences than it did.
Yes. Our viewers, we're interested to know, how do you feel about this entire situation? You heard the story. Do you feel like the parents should be charged? Do you feel like they shouldn't be charged? Do you feel like they're just as responsible for him getting out there and driving that vehicle? Do you feel that that is neglect? Do you feel that way? We want to hear what you have to say as well. I do agree. I don't feel like, because there wasn't anything that happened, that they shouldn't be charged for any criminal charges. But it is a matter of, I do feel like they have to take it into their hands as parents to have a deep discussion with the 5-year-old and with the 16-year-old on what took place on that particular day. Because when we're at work, truth be told, you know how it is at some jobs, we don't know what type of job they have. You cannot even call home and check, except for when you take a break, right?
Some jobs you can't even, it's so restricted.
You can't take your phone in.
And it depends on where you're working, and especially if you have a job where you have to be clearance. You can't even have your phone on the job.
Exactly. And so it's up to the parents to know if their 16-year-old is responsible enough to make sure that that child does not get into something that they shouldn't get into. Because it's obvious that this 5-year-old is very articulate. Okay? He's very intelligent. He's very intelligent. And we are our age, but sometimes our young kids have gotten away with some things just by the twinkle of an eye. They just do something just that quick, you know? And so I don't feel like nobody should have any criminal charges.
No criminal charges.
Yeah, they should not have any criminal charges at all. So I don't know what you viewers think. What do you think about this whole situation?
And I'm interested to know, too, what people think about the Lamborghini drive afterwards, if we think that that was appropriate or not appropriate.
So Kevin Hill said something. Kevin Hill said, I haven't heard the story, but I agree with the young woman that just spoke. It's a parenting issue, not a legal issue. Absolutely, Kevin. And thank you for commenting.
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
Yep, thank you so much. You are absolutely right. It's definitely not a legal issue. It is a parenting issue. And so, with that being said, all I know is I ain't leaving no keys with nobody. I'm not leaving no keys with nobody. But y'all, we'll be right back. We are going to take a break. I need you to stay tuned, because this next topic is about Ahmaud, the black jogger that was running in his neighborhood and shot down like an animal. Listen, I need y'all to stay tuned. I need to hear you all.
We need to hear from you.
We need to hear you all on this. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Talk Show Divas. We'll be right back.
So many black lives incarcerated. So many black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Hi, I'm Harry.
Woo! Yes, we're back. Talk Show Diva. Hey, I'm your host, Kat Davis, and we have
LaTanya
and Kay. Listen, this topic right here. I'm going to get right into it, but I have to always acknowledge our executive producer, Felix Washington, and Shantae Barksdale, who is our social media manager. And we have Talk Show Kings coming on today at 6:30 p.m., so make sure y'all check them out on Facebook. They go live. They have some great topics that they be talking about as well. And so, again, I just want to say, please, 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 give donations, help us out. Cash App, 1061 TV. Okay? Well, TV 1061 is the Cash App. I'm sorry. TV 1061. I don't want to have y'all Cash Apping the wrong people.
Yeah, no.
We need that money. Send it, send it, send it. Okay, y'all. But this, on a serious note, I really need y'all to call in. Anybody can call in. I don't care who it is. The number is 404-519-0015. We want to hear what you have to say as it relates to this topic that we are about to discuss. It is in reference to Ahmaud Arbery. There was a video that had emerged of him being gunned down like he was an animal. And it was two white men. One of them was a retired detective for the DA office, and his son. And of course, you all know there was somebody that was recording it. And what I noticed during the recording is that he would take the camera off for a second to not show something that had happened and then put the camera back on. If you really look at it, you'll see that part. And then another video just came out of them. He allegedly is him going into an abandoned house, but he doesn't destroy anything. He doesn't take anything. And he's just jogging in the neighborhood. Now, the problem that I have with this is this incident occurred in February. I think it was February the 23rd, but nothing was done about it until May 7th. So these men weren't even arrested. What was going on with the law enforcement? No arrests were made until the GBI got involved. So what do you all think about this whole thing? I'm going to let y'all talk some about it before I tune back in with it. But it is what it shows me is that our black men are still being stereotyped because they felt like because it was some burglaries, they say, some nights before, which we don't know if that's true or not, you know, if it really was any burglaries or not. And they said that then there was another story that they seen him put his hand in his pants, so that's why he figured he had a gun. But they were out there waiting for him as he was jogging with guns. Can you imagine what he was thinking when he was running, jogging towards that area? Now it shows him getting ready to jog on the left-hand side, but then the camera goes off. Because now the sun comes up, but he has that gun in his hand already, which is very clear. So he jogs around to the right side, and then that's when you see them tussling over the gun. Okay, I'm gonna just let you go from here right now, because I know Tanya over there fuming. I know she over there fuming because this is serious.
Well, condolences to Ahmaud's parents and his family, and it's not easy when somebody take your loved one. I don't know what it is to lose a son, but I did lose my brother to a murder. Someone murdered him. It wasn't police violence, but nevertheless, it still was a murder. I don't think people use their common sense when they have authority behind their name. these people said that this young man was in the neighborhood jogging, and he said that the guy had a previous background from when he was in 2019 and 2018 or something like that. 2013, I'm sorry. Was it 2013? Yeah, 2013 when he was in high school. And then again, allegedly, he got into some altercation with shoplifting in 2018. Now, this particular person, the father, he was a previous DA detective. So you mean to tell me because somebody has a prior background, you just slaughter them just because you know they were in trouble before? A person can't change.
Right.
People have to just be ridiculed all their life and seen for what mistake that was allegedly said was made in the past. I mean, you cannot just take somebody's life because you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, I have people in my family that has to deal with law enforcement for their jobs, and family friend that's high up in the police department. And I mean, you cannot just think that you can just do what you want because you have police officer behind your name. And to take this guy's life, I just think that it was unnecessary. The guy didn't have anything on him, from my understanding. He didn't have anything on him. So why did you have to gun him down and do that to him? And the person who was videoing, you need to be held accountable for the actions too, because you just like you were videoing, you could have called the cops. So in other scenarios, when people are doing something and somebody has been on the phone with somebody that they're the feds are looking after, or the police department looking after, they're now considered conspiracy and accountable for the situation of what they're having to look into. So this guy need to be held accountable and get the same, like whatever those two are gonna get, the father and the son.
Well, I hope they get the full consequences of what they done, you know, the full extent of the law. That's what I hope. But before I let you talk, Tanya, because viewers, we want to hear from you. So please, and hi, Latronda, that's my cuz. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Joe. Hi, Illyria. Hi, Jimmy, Lisa, Catherine, Ted, Sharika. We appreciate you all. We're discussing the topic about Ahmed, who was gunned down while he was jogging, doing something that he loves to do. He was not bothering anybody, and it was very obvious from the video that they were waiting on him. So viewers, you have an opportunity to call in and tell us something, what you think about this whole situation. Again, the number is 404, it's right on the screen, 404-519-0015. We want to hear what you have to say. If you don't want to call in, make sure that you put some comments in, because we want to talk about what you feel as well. I'm about to let Tanya talk about her feelings as it relates to this topic. So listen, viewers, dial that number, make some comments so we can hear what you have to say. Tanya.
Yeah. So when I found out that we were going to be talking about this topic today, I'm not going to lie, I did not look forward to it at all. Not in any way, shape, or form is it because I don't believe it's worth being talked about, or that it should not be talked about. It was because as a mother of 3 young men, I had so much of an emotional reaction to the news than anything else. And I found it extremely difficult to keep my emotions out of it as I thought about what I wanted to say here about it today. First of all, my heart absolutely goes out to his mom.
Yes.
Because I cannot fathom that she has been sitting around since February waiting for somebody to decide that her son's life was worth investigating and looking into. I cannot imagine what these last few months have been like for her. I totally ache for her, and I fear for her because I heard a comment a couple days ago that I was watching, I believe it was a news briefing, and there were some interviews going on, and there was a young man on there talking about this situation, and he said he believed wholeheartedly that these individuals would get away with this because he had absolutely no faith whatsoever in the justice system. And my fear for this mom is that that young man is correct. I certainly hope and pray that that's not the outcome, but given what we are seeing in this world in this time, it certainly is valid for us to think and expect the worst possible outcome in this situation. So I am, again, I am just full of emotion. Everything that I have on this situation hits me at an emotional level. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by the act in and of itself to say that you were thinking that this young man had committed crimes in the neighborhood and you were going to make a citizen's arrest. Why do you feel you need to do that? That's what we have actual police officers for, Mr. Pryor Detective. Why could you not pick up the phone and call and say, I just saw a young man running through the neighborhood who looks like somebody who broke into some houses a few weeks ago. At no point during that video, and at no point since that video was released, have I heard or seen anything about any of them, the father, the son, anybody, making an actual call to the police at any point. Nobody picked up a phone and called and said, we are in pursuit of a young man who fits a description that or fits a pattern, and we're concerned about it, so we're following him until you get here. At no point did somebody call 911 and say, we're approaching this young man to make a citizen's arrest because he fits a profile or we suspect him of something. There was no attempt to involve any real authority, which makes me believe that wasn't your intent in the first place. Was to do what you said was not your true intent in the first place. I believe that these men did exactly what they intended to do, and it had nothing to do with a citizen's arrest or anything else. If anything, it was fueled by hatred and discontent and disrespect. I'm disgusted by the lack of appreciation and acknowledgement of the value of human life. The fact that any member of any group feels like they can approach and assault and in any way harm another group because they don't fit some standard, whatever that standard is, that they hold is just, it's appalling to me. It's appalling to me that you think that you can assault somebody, shoot somebody, etc., because they don't fit your mold of, you know, what somebody should look like or act like or be or whatever the case is. I'm disgusted by that. I'm tired. I'm tired of reading from week to week, month to month, whatever it is, about what's happening to our young men. I'm tired of trying to figure out as a mom what I'm going to say to my kids to keep them safe. I'm tired of hearing about, I'm tired of victim blaming. I'm tired of people being hurt in all sorts of fashion.
Yeah.
And the first thing that somebody else wants to do is try to figure out what that person did to deserve it. How insensitive, unkind, and cruel can you be? So I am so sorry, but all I have is just emotions, and none of them good. I just you know, want to bring it all back and just reiterate that I am praying so hard for this young man's family, for his mom. I am praying so hard for us as a community. And I am just very, very, very hopeful that something, somehow, this time will be different.
I hope the same thing. It is a very emotional topic, and especially for those of us who have sons. I already worry about my son. I know they say don't worry, but it's easy to say that when you see things like this happening in the world, you know, and sometimes it happens very close to you.
Yes.
It happens right in your back, at your back door, you know, and there was an incident where my son, and it's not always white men. If we want to keep it real, it's not always white men that's hurting our black men. But this is an issue where it is the case, where there is some hatred that is being shown. But it's sometimes our own hurting each other as well. My son was, I'll never forget when my son was robbed, you know, and it's a feeling I can't even imagine what this mother feels like, because my son's whole face looked deformed. They hit him in the head with a pipe, and the whole side of his face was deformed, and he had to go to the hospital. I was so angry and tore up, and he's still alive. So I can't imagine. My heart goes out to that mother as well, because listen, I watched a clip where she was literally begging for help.
Yes.
It did something to me. It tore me up to see this mother, her son being murdered. She didn't even want to watch the video. Just the fact of knowing that her son was murdered by these two men, and he was unarmed, and all he was doing was jogging in a neighborhood that he has been jogging in. And nobody was there to help her when it first happened.
Nope.
This was in February, and here it is, May the 7th, before it even came out. You know, that it's ridiculous. And they are doing an investigation on the law enforcement because two prosecutors did step down because of their connection to the retired police officer. Well, the lawyer, which is crazy to me, I'm still trying to wrap it around my head. The lawyer that leaked the footage said that he found a person that did the recording, yet he felt like the retired detective was going to retain him because he did not shoot. It was his son that did the shooting. Listen,
you with your son, you held accountable.
They
with your
were
son.
in this together, even the one that was filming
Watching. He just stood in the back.
All parties should be held equally accountable. I mean, you do it in any other crime. I mean, drug crimes. I mean, you know, rapes. You know, if all parties are involved in a situation, they all need to be held accountable.
Every last one of them, even the one that was filming it.
That's all three of them.
Because he didn't even come out with the footage. He didn't come out with the footage until the attorney went looking for him. That's when he came out with the footage. Was when the attorney found him to leak it, because he felt like everybody had a responsibility to know. They had a right to know. Well, y'all, I wish we could go on. I was hoping y'all were going to call in and talk about this. But listen, we'll be back next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Listen, I need you to start commenting, sharing, calling in. Talk with us. Let us know what you think about a lot of things. And again, if you want to donate to the show because you like watching the show, you can always send a donation to our Cash App. Like I told you before, TV 1061. Cash App us. Cash App us. Cash App us. We need your help. You are what makes the show great. Again, y'all have a happy Mother's Day. Let's pray for those who have lost their mother, and let's pray for those mothers and for parents who have lost their child.
Amen.
So,
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day. Bye. Talk Show Divas, and we're...
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.